Yeah.
If you can't develop them, why do you care? Ocho, I've never been mad of being in a situation.
Because if you have Shedeur Sanders on the third string, and this is something that came to my mind, fellas, if you had him as your third string quarterback, why wouldn't he be up for a trade to go to the Cleveland Browns?
Shedeur Sanders was officially named the number 2 quarterback for Cleveland in the game against Pittsburgh. The Athletic Jason Lloyd is reporting that the Browns might be hesitant to release Shedeur because of what happened with their former quarterback Baker Mayfield, who went on to shine after leaving Cleveland.
The Cleveland Browns are caught in the same emotional storm that once tore them apart with Baker Mayfield. You can feel it in the fan base, hear it in the locker room whispers, and see it in the way the front office hesitates. They've named Shedeur Sanders the number 2 quarterback, but deep down, everyone knows the truth. This isn't about depth charts or readiness. This is about fear. Fear that if they ever let Shedeur walk out of Cleveland, he might become the next Baker Mayfield story. The kid they didn't believe in, who went somewhere else and lit up the league.
How do I begrudge that? No. Cleveland, if you can't develop a quarterback, why do you care if he goes somewhere else and somebody puts the time into him and develop him?
And actually wants him.
Yes.
At that time.
Y'all didn't want Baker. Y'all didn't want Baker. You said you wanted a grown up. Okay. He went to, he had to go a lot of detours.
Yeah.
But he eventually got to a place that let him be him. Y'all don't like Shedeur for whatever reason. And I don't know. I hope we get an opportunity to see Shedeur. Maybe if it's not here, somewhere else. Mm-hmm. But you guys wanted someone to be like this because you think this is the only way to play quarterback.
Ocho said it best. If you can't develop him, why do you care if he succeeds somewhere else? That line hit harder than any touchdown pass. The Browns have been here before. They said Baker wasn't the grown-up they wanted, traded him away, and watched him rise in Tampa Bay. Now they look at Shedeur and see a mirror that reminds them how quickly they turn on their own talent when it doesn't fit the mold they imagined. They want control, predictability, and perfection, but the league doesn't work like that. Quarterbacks aren't robots. Some are flashy, confident, and a little different. But different isn't bad, it's special. Before we dive deeper, make sure you like this video and hit that subscribe button so you never miss a drop of real football talk. We're building the most authentic community in the game, and your support keeps it going strong.
I just believe responsibility and ownership is one of the things that a quarterback must do. But why do you care? You're not trying to develop him. He leaves, you release him, he goes somewhere else. They put the time in, they develop him, they give him an opportunity. Why do you care?
Yeah, and listen, don't let him go to a situation that's perfect for him.
Yes.
The situation in Tampa is perfect for Baker.
Now back to the truth. Cleveland keeps pretending this is about development, but that's just a cover. What they're really afraid of is the headline they can't control. Imagine the story. Shedeur Sanders shines in another city after Cleveland lets him go. That's the nightmare. Not because they care about his future, but because they don't want to be embarrassed twice. Baker already wrote that chapter, and it burned. The fans turned, the analysts mocked, and ownership looked foolish. Now, instead of learning from it, they're trying to hide from it. He compared it to a relationship. If you couldn't give someone what they needed and they found happiness somewhere else, how could you be mad? That's exactly what Cleveland is doing. They couldn't develop Baker, they didn't believe in him, they shipped him off, and now they're bitter he's thriving. It's pride, it's ego, and it's blocking their ability to see the bigger picture. If you can't invest in Shedeur, then let him go somewhere that will. Don't keep him trapped because you're scared he'll prove you wrong. That fear is poison for any franchise. A confident team lets players move on without hesitation because they believe in their system, their future, their starter. But when a team hesitates like Cleveland is doing, it reveals something deeper: doubt. Doubt in Deshaun Watson, doubt in the coaching staff, and doubt in the front office's own decisions. You don't hold on to someone out of strategy. You hold on out of insecurity. Shedeur doesn't need saving. He needs opportunity. The Browns claim they're protecting their investment, but what they're really doing is protecting their image. They don't want another young star leaving and becoming a success story they no longer control. They want him to stay in their box, quiet, reserved, waiting for a turn that might never come. But players like Shedeur were never built to wait. They were built to rise. And let's be real. Cleveland isn't known for developing quarterbacks. History doesn't lie. From Brady Quinn to Johnny Manziel, from Colt McCoy to Baker Mayfield, the pattern repeats. The city loves the idea of the next savior, but when the moment comes to actually nurture that talent, the same walls appear. Too much pressure, too little patience, and not enough vision. Shedeur's success depends on more than his arm. It depends on whether the Browns can finally break that cycle. What makes this even crazier is that the Browns' ownership has already shown their hand. Reports from The Athletic revealed that the owner wasn't even a big believer in Shedeur from the start. That says everything. When the belief doesn't start from the top, it never trickles down. You can have all the coaching talent in the world, but if the front office is already half in and half out, the player never gets a fair shot. Now Ocho and Unc are right to call it out. They've been in locker rooms. They've seen what happens when a franchise loses faith but refuses to admit it. That kind of tension doesn't just affect the player, it affects the entire roster. The veterans start whispering, the young guys start doubting, and before you know it, that same old Cleveland curse reappears. Promise wasted, potential lost. Another what if added to the pile. But this time feels different, because Shedeur isn't like the others. He's calm under pressure, confident in his skin, and built for the spotlight. He's not waiting for validation, he's waiting for a chance. And when he gets it, whether it's in Cleveland or somewhere else, the league better be ready. Because this story has déjà vu written all over it. Just like Baker, Shedeur will find a place that lets him be himself. A system that doesn't try to change him, but instead enhances what he already brings. That's the kind of environment where stars are born. And when it happens, the Browns will once again be on the outside looking in, asking themselves how they let it happen. In the end, this isn't just about football. It's about growth. It's about learning from past mistakes and not letting fear dictate the future. Ocho said it best, if you can't develop him, let him go shine somewhere else. Because greatness doesn't wait for permission, it finds its stage. And whether that stage is in Cleveland or beyond, Shedeur Sanders looks ready for his spotlight.